Biden to ask Congress for urgent budget requests to support Israel and Ukraine. President Joe Biden addressed the nation Thursday night following a trip to Tel Aviv as the Israel-Hamas conflict drags into its second week. Biden said he'll be sending Congress an urgent budget request to fund America's national security needs to support our critical partners, including Israel and Ukraine. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warned that Israel's conflict with Palestinian militant group Hamas will not be a short-term engagement. Standing alongside British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak as the Israel-Hamas conflict enters its 13th day, Netanyahu said, "This is a long war, and will need your continuous support." Meanwhile, Palestinian militant group Hamas said an Israeli airstrike in the north of Gaza City killed the head of its Hamas-led security forces. CNBC was not able to independently verify the report. Biden and Egyptian President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi reached an agreement to allow humanitarian aid into the Gaza Strip, according to Egypt's readout of the leader's phone call, lending hope to the civilians of the besieged enclosure. The U.S. Department of State also issued a worldwide caution advisory asking U.S. citizens overseas to exercise increased caution due to increased tensions in various locations around the world. That news comes as at least 32 Americans have died in the ongoing war. In a rare prime-time Oval Office address, President Joe Biden urged Israel not be blinded by rage. "When I was in Israel yesterday, I said that when America experienced the hell of 9/11, we felt enraged as well," Biden said. "While we sought and got justice, we made mistakes. So, I cautioned the government of Israel not to be blinded by rage." Biden also said that Hamas does not represent the Palestinian people. The U.S. remains committed to the Palestinian people's right to dignity and to self-determination, President Biden says. "The actions of Hamas terrorists don't take that right away. We can't ignore the humanity of innocent Palestinians who only want to live in peace." President Joe Biden vowed to hold the Iranian regime to account for supporting both Russia, Hamas, and other malign actors as the U.S. works to support Israel and Ukraine on two different war fronts. Iran is supporting Russia, Ukraine, and supporting Hamas and other terrorist groups in the region, and will continue to hold them accountable, Biden said. The Biden administration has previously warned Iran to not further escalate the ongoing war in the Middle East. President Joe Biden said he would ask Congress for an urgent budget request to support the security needs of Israel and Ukraine as both nations navigate conflicts. "It's a smart investment that's going to pay dividends for American security for generations," Biden said in a rare primetime address from the Oval Office. Biden said the additional security assistance will help keep American troops out of harm's way and help the United States build a world that is safer, more peaceful, and more prosperous for our children and grandchildren. The Pentagon said it was confident that the United States will be able to continue to provide security assistance for Ukraine as well as Israel. President Joe Biden is expected to discuss U.S. support for Israel and Ukraine in a rare primetime address from the Oval Office. President Joe Biden is set to address the nation following a trip to Tel Aviv as the Israel-Hamas conflict drags into its second week. Biden's remarks at the White House, which are scheduled for 8 p.m. come as the U.S. works to provide critical humanitarian assistance to civilians in Gaza and additional security assistance to Israel. A senior White House official confirmed to NBC News that Biden will address the nation about both the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas and Russia's war in Ukraine. California Gov. Gavin Newsom said he is traveling to Israel to meet with victims of the deadly Oct. 7 attack by Hamas and pledge his state support to those affected. "I'm on my way to Israel," the high-profile Democratic governor said in a post on X on Thursday afternoon. "I'll be meeting with those impacted by the horrific terrorist attacks and offering California's support." Newsom is set to land in Israel on Friday morning and plans to leave the same day, a source familiar with his schedule told CNBC. Newsom's surprise visit, which follows President Joe Biden's trip to Israel a day earlier, comes just a few days ahead of his previously planned trip to China. The governor adjusted his planned international trip and will briefly visit Israel ahead of going to China. Newsom spokesperson Aaron Mellon said in a statement. Mellon reiterated the Newsom will meet with those impacted by the violence while in Israel.